All right, welcome back to WMMA Now with your host Chuck Stevenson. So the other night, as I'm reading off the news and the fight announcements for the WMMA report, I'm looking at them and I'm thinking to myself, wait, how many bantamweight fights is that? Is bantamweight back? Yeah, I think so. I think bantamweight is about to come back in a big way because the UFC, in the span of 1 week, announced 4 big fights for the bantamweight division, all of them between top 15 fighters. Let's go ahead and look into it because I'm actually pretty excited about this because bantamweight has been looking, sparse lately, but I think it's about to come back in a big way, particularly if all 4 of these fights go off pretty well. So let's hope they are. So let's go ahead and take a look at them. First off, on December 19th, we have number 13th ranked Sijara Eubanks versus number 14th ranked Pannie Kianzad. So, excuse me. Sarge coming in at 6-5. Kianzad coming in at 13-5. Now Sijara's coming off a loss to Julia Avila most recently, whereas Kianzad is riding 2 straight wins. Eubanks is the elder fighter, 35 years to 29 for Kianzad. Kianzad's going to have a height advantage, 5 feet 7 inches, 170 centimeters, to Eubanks' 5 feet 4 inches, 163 centimeters. However, the reach is reversed. Sijara Eubanks is at 67 inches, 170 centimeters. Kianzad is at 66 inches, 168 centimeters. So this is an interesting fight in that, for several reasons. Well, first off, Sarge is like 35 years old. So for Sijara Eubanks, she needs to get this win underneath her and then start racking up wins if she's ever going to be able to make a run for the title, because she's not getting any younger. For Kianzad, it's a chance for her to keep climbing up the ranks, even if it's only like 1 or 2 spots. Both of these fighters are starting to round off their games a lot better. Sijara Eubanks is picking up the striking a lot better. She's still got her jiu-jitsu behind her. Kianzad, like I said, pretty well rounded. So this makes for an interesting fight towards the bottom end of the top 15. And, either fighter here could look to make waves with this fight. So for Eubanks, it's a chance to get one back in the win column. For Kianzad, a win here would be 3 in a row. That's a genuine winning streak. So it should make for an interesting one. Next up on the list is number 6 is going to go down at January 18th between 6th ranked Juliana Pena and 9th ranked Sarah McMahon. Pena's coming in at 9-4. McMahon coming in at 12-5. Pena coming off a loss most recently. That was over, I want to say, Jermaine Darandami. McMahon coming off a win, preceded by 2 straight losses. McMahon is definitely the elder fighter by 9 years, 40 to Pena's 31 years. They both stand the same height, 5 feet 6 inches, 168 centimeters. Pena, however, has the longer reach, 69 inches, 175 centimeters, to McMahon's 66 inches, 168 centimeters. So, talking about Eubanks, this being her last chance, this is definitely McMahon's last chance to make a run. And she needs to really make a statement in this fight as well. She's 40 years old. She's coming off of a single win. And she's fought how many times in the last several years? 1 or 2. She took a long layoff for pregnancy, which I don't blame her. Being pregnant in your late 30s is no picnic. So McMahon really needs to come in, make a statement, get that 2nd straight win if she ever wants to make another title run. For Pena, this is another case for her. She needs to get back into the win column. I mean, she got submitted by a known striker. It did not look good for her getting submitted, being the first submission win on Jermaine Darandami's record. she really needs to come in here and make a statement as well. Now, both of these fighters are primarily wrestlers. McMahon definitely has the better pedigree, being the former Olympic silver medalist. But honestly, I feel like Pena has usually better adapted her wrestling to MMA overall. As far as the striking goes, neither are very impressive on the feet. McMahon does possess some power. I mean, she's built like a brick. Pardon my language. She's built like a brick shithouse. I mean, she is jacked. Big, broad shoulders, big, beefy arms. I mean, she is just built. Pena, she's got some muscular too, but not like McMahon does. I mean, McMahon definitely has some power in her punches. Pena, not so much. So stand up, give a slight advantage to McMahon based on the power alone. On the ground, you tend to want to give it to McMahon based on the pedigree, but I feel like Pena tends to have the better implementation. However, both kind of tend to, brain fart their way into losses. So this one could go either way very easily. Next up on February 6th is going to be a battle between number 10th ranked Marion Renaud and number 12th ranked Macy Chiasson. Renaud coming in 9-6, Chiasson coming in 6-1. Okay, I keep saying this on these fights, but this is Renaud absolutely needs a win here. She has lost her last 3. Chiasson is coming off a win preceded by a loss. If she takes a loss here, it wouldn't hurt her too much, but you also don't want to lose to someone who's on a 3-fight losing streak either. Renaud, the elder fighter by, 14 years, 43 years old to Chiasson's 29. So, once again, you have a case of someone who is, Renaud is literally over the hill. I mean, you hit 40, that's considered over the hill. So she is well past being over the hill. If she wants to go out on a win, she needs to get one here. Chiasson's definitely going to be the taller fighter, 5 feet 11 inches, 180 centimeters to Renaud's 5 feet 6 inches, 168 centimeters. Chiasson has the reach as well by 4 inches. She has 72-inch, 183 centimeters to Renaud's 68-inch, 173 centimeters. I'm not a big Renaud fan, but I will give her one thing to her credit. She has heart. She has heart. She will keep going. Now, she's also one of those fighters that somehow manages to snatch defeat from the jaws of victory. So she could easily come in and get this 4th straight loss. Chiasson, on the other hand, I feel like she just hasn't grown as much as a fighter as she should have. This one, even with Renaud on the downslope and being, she's not a young fighter, and being on the downslope, even with that in hand, this fight could still go either way. Renaud's definitely the better wrestler by far. I think she has cleaner strikes too. I haven't seen her fight in a while. Chiasson, like I said, she just isn't as polished, I feel, as she should be. Granted, it's like going to be her 8th fight, and she basically had to learn on the go, starting off with The Ultimate Fighter and then getting into the UFC itself. So you could almost say she came to the UFC too early in her career, so that's why she's having to learn on the job. This will definitely be an interesting fight. And then finally, on UFC Fight Night on February 20th, we have 7th ranked Ketlin Vieira taking on 8th ranked Yana Kunitskaya. Vieira coming in at 11-1, Kunitskaya coming in at 13-5. Both of these fighters have picked up a win recently after a loss. Kunitskaya is the elder fighter, 31 years to Vieira's 29. Vieira's the taller fighter. This one surprises me. 5 feet 8 inches, 173 centimeters to Vieira. Kunitskaya is 5 feet 6 inches, 168 centimeters. Used to seeing Kunitskaya being a taller fighter. Or at least she seems taller because, you know, she's long and thin. The reach is just about even though. 68.5 inch, 174 centimeters for Kunitskaya. 68 inch, 173 centimeters for Vieira. So, you know, that after a long layoff, Vieira came back and she took that hard knockout loss to Irene Aldana last year. Came back and got a win this year. This is another situation where she needs to make a statement here, though. She's at number 7, but she was ranked at like number 2, I believe, was the highest she was ranked before that injury layoff. She needs to get a win streak going again to get into title, back into title contention. So if she can get that over Kunitskaya, get this win, pick up another quick win sometime early, again, still early next year, or within like the second quarter, then boom, she's easily back into title contention. For Kunitskaya, she needs to pick up another win in order to basically say, hey, I'm not going anywhere. I'm here in the middle of this division, but I'm still going to look to move up. And against someone who was once highly ranked at number 2 at Vieira, it'd be a good time to do it. See, Kunitskaya, you know, she's definitely learned a lot training with her, boyfriend, Thiago Santos. Her last fight, she really showed off how that she can be a bully in the clinch, and with her dirty boxing, added that new aspect to her game. Vieira, you know, she's a strong hitter. Has some nice footwork going on, and she's very proficient on the ground as well. Kunitskaya, she's good with submissions on the ground. She's good off of her back, but that's about it. Really, that's all she's really shown. It's like her wrestling's not as good, so I would give, you know, slight advantage on the ground to Vieira. On the feet, I think it's going to come down to whoever can implement their game plan. But, you know, like I said, this is a chance for both fighters to make a statement here. For Vieira to really show that she's ready to be, you know, a title contender again. For Kunitskaya to go, hey, this is your former number 2, and I just took her out. I'm here, and I'm ready to contend for the title as well. So either fighter here can make a strong statement for title contention off of the win. Okay, so those are my initial thoughts on these upcoming bantamweight fights. Hey, it looks like bantamweight is back. Like I said, 4 fights, all 8 fighters ranked within the top 15. Makes a very strong statement that, you know, UFC is looking to get this division back on track. It was basically languishing for a good while, and they haven't signed that many new fighters for bantamweight lately. Hopefully they'll start doing that as well. But, you know, I think bantamweight is back. Anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. If you like the video, please give it a like. And while you're at it, go ahead and subscribe to WMMA Scene Now, the most complete women's mixed martial arts dedicated platform on YouTube. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.